Right, so now we're going to be solving equations by applying the distributive property. So let's remind ourselves about the distributive property, right? In this case, it would be 14x plus 35. Here, it would be 9x minus 27, but we'd have to add the 2 to the negative 27 and get 9x minus 25. Here, distributing a negative 2, you get negative 8x minus 14, right? Negative 2 times positive 7. Here you get negative 3x plus 24. Negative 3 times negative 8. All right, so we're going to be trying to solve this equation. We're going to try to figure out what the only number x could be. So there are other ways to do these problems, but we're going to have our go-to method whenever you see parentheses is you can use distributive property to get rid of them. And you really want to get rid of your parentheses from equations first thing. So let's see that. 7x minus 14 equals 21. Now here we're just starting, right? That's a two-step equation, right? We already know how to solve a two-step, so we'll move on. Here, right, you have parentheses. You do the distributive property, you get 8x plus 2 times 9. Oh, yeah, 18. Sorry, I was having a brain freeze, right? But that is a two-step equation as well. Okay, all right, so now we're actually going to solve them. The notes are just reminding you about this is negative 12x. You wouldn't write plus negative 30. You would write minus 30. Right? Because if you write plus negative 30, then it doesn't look like all the two steps we've been doing for one. So now that's a two-step. Now we're going to solve them. So we add 30 to both sides. 90 plus 30 is 120 equals negative 12x. Divide both sides by negative 12. Right? And x equals negative 10. That's the only number you can put in that equation that will make it all work out. Right? 2 times blank plus 5. What has to go there to make that equal to positive 90 is negative 10. 2 times negative 10, negative 20. Negative 20 plus 5, negative 15. Negative 6 times negative 15 does equal 90. Negative 10 is the only number that will make that side equal 90. Okay, right? This means distribute a negative 1. So you get negative 2x minus 14 equals 8. There's your two-step equation. You add 14 to both sides. Negative 2x equals 22. Divide by negative 2 both sides. X equals negative 11. Area of a rectangle, right? So 6 times 2x plus 3. You have to multiply the two sides, and you're multiplying this 6 times this entire side. So you need those parentheses. So that's the equation. Then you do your distributive property and get 12x plus 18. There's your two-step equation. You subtract 18 from both sides. Do a little borrowing there. And divide both sides by 12. 12 goes into 72 6 times. Right? And so this side was 2 times 6 plus 3, or 15. Yeah. All right, so again, we're going to work backwards to figure out x, the cost of the bananas. And once we know the cost of the bananas, we'll know the cost of apples because they're 3 times the price of the bananas. All right, so 4 of each item. So we have a 3x, an x, and a 2.5. 4 of each item equals 42. Distributive property to the whole thing. And by the way, you could add those together first, right, because they're like terms, but I'll just do it. Most students end up, because they fit a pattern, end up doing this. But either way will get you 16x at this point. 4 times 2.5 is in fact 10. So we get the two-step we get is 16x plus 10 equals 42. Subtract 10 from both sides. 16x equals 32. Divide by 16. X equals 2. What does that mean? Well, the price of the bananas was $2. All right. I don't know if that, it doesn't say if it's per pound or for a bunch. It doesn't say. But apples will be 3 times that. That's definitely not for one apple. $6 is too pricey for, right, 3 times 2. One apple, but maybe it's a bag of apples. Okay, same thing. Now, we're going to get a little harder here, right? We're going to do the distributive property. We see parentheses first thought should be distributive property. So we get negative 2x minus 10, right? But we're not at a two-step yet, right? Because we've got to combine our like terms. Then we'll get to a two-step. Negative 2x plus 7x, 5x minus 10. Now we have our two-step. Once you get there, you should be smooth sailing, right? I was not lying when I said you were going to solve 1,000 two-steps, because the last two steps of every other equation is a two-step equation. And so x had to be 7. Okay, just making them more and more complicated. But this, truthfully, it looks harder than it is. You do the distributive property there, and you get 6x plus 27. Because that's a plus, you're going to distribute a positive 2. If it was a minus, you would distribute a negative 2, and we'll do that in a second. Plus 2x minus 6 equals 29. We've gotten rid of our parentheses, and look what that lets us do. It lets us combine like terms. 8x, 27 minus 6, 21. There's our two-step equation, right? That's our goal, because we get that two-step equation, and then everything should be almost automatic because you solve so many two-step equations. All right, distributing a fraction, 1/5 times 10x is 2x. Well, they both start with 2x, so that wasn't helpful, right? And then 1/5 times negative 15, negative 3. That wasn't helpful. Oh, because all we're seeing is, so do you multiply that side by 1/5? Of course not. All right, hopefully, right? You only multiply the things in the parentheses, plus that's on the other side of the equal sign also. So the equation that has the same solution is A for all values of x. So let's practice here. So here we get 15x minus 18 minus 12x equals 6. Combine your like terms. 3x minus 18 equals 6. There's our two-step. Add 18 to both sides. 3x equals 24. Divide by 3. And x equals 8. Here we're distributing the 1/3. 1/3 times 12x is 4x. 1/3 times negative 3. Negative 1. There's our two-step. Add 1 to both sides. 4x equals 20. Divide by 4. X equals 5. Here, distribute a negative 2. Negative 2x plus 8. Keep distributing. Plus 6x plus 24 equals 72. Negative 2x plus 6x is 4x. 8 plus 24 is 32. There's our two-step. Subtract 32 from both sides. 4x equals 40. Divide by 4. And x equals 10. All right, find x if the cost of one package of grapes plus 2 apples and bananas. So this is not 2 of everything. I made it a little more complicated. One package of grapes. All right, so one package of grapes, 2.5, plus 2 apples and bananas. So 2 of 4x and 2x. All right, that's the equation here. Okay. Now, you can add those together and get 6x. And 2 times 6x is 12x. If you notice, if you do 8x plus 4x, you do the distributive property first, you still get 12x no matter what. We do not multiply the 2.5 times 2 because it's not, I didn't say 2 of each like the other ones. All right, so you have to read them. Now you could clear the decimal here, but look what's going to happen. You subtract 2.5 from both sides and you get 12x. Am I getting 30? Wow. I didn't make this come out nicely. I'm surprised. I'm wondering if it was supposed to be 10x. Let's see. 4x plus 2x, 2 apples and bananas, 6x, 12x. Okay, so let's do that. So a couple of things you can do. So here we go. 30 divided by 12, right? So we could do that. 2 times 12 is 24. Remainder 6. Decimal straight up, 0 straight down, 12 into 60. Oh, all right. So it's $2.50, 2.5, right? Now, the other thing you could have done at 30/12 is simplify it. Those are both divisible by 6, and you would have gotten 5 halves, right? 5 halves is 2.5, and what's $2.50? $2.50. Okay, distribute a -1 here. We get I like to write the -1 in at that point, so I don't forget to do it. -1x plus 2. We have to distribute here, plus 6x plus 18 equals 50. -1x plus 6x is 5x. 2 plus 18 is 20. Subtract 20 from both sides. 5x equals 30. Divide by 5, x equals 6. All right, good luck with the homework.